Hello, in this presentation, I want to explain a not so used feature that can increase your productivity, or if it is accidentally turned on, can cause you many troubles. I will present a part with different kind of bodies, the first one part body, the second containing a solid, linked by publication, with copy-paste special as result with link. I will open in another window the solid, to see all bodies and publications. The following body also contains a link solid, but there are some features in current body applied to the solid. This solid is a part, similar with previous. Next body is a normal one, with some features. Next is a geometrical set, defining a surface. The last one is a body in a set, that contains both part design features and GSD features. From the Tools toolbar, in Part Design and GSD module, can be selected options, only current body, or only current operated solid, as shown. I want to show you how activating these options affects each kind of bodies previously presented. I will define in Work Object each body, to see what happens after applying only current body option. This option displays the geometry of the current part body or open body only, as you can notice. Next, I will do the same with only the current operated solid option. As you can notice, this option is used when editing features belonging to attached bodies, bodies that underwent Boolean operations, only. It displays only the features of the current body, all the other bodies and geometrical sets directly aggregated to the part. These two options can be found also under Tools menu, Options, Infrastructure, Part Infrastructure, Display tab, Display in Geometry Area section, as presented. Here, by default, all the checkboxes are deselected. In this section, are another two options, unavailable anywhere else. Third one, geometry located after the current feature, is reserved for ordered geometrical sets and bodies that can include both part design features and GSD features. If selected, the application displays the geometry of the current feature and only the GSD and wireframe geometry located after the current feature. The fourth one, parameters of features and constraints, permanently displays parameters attached to part design features and sketcher constraints. Also, you can drag to define the size of axis systems in millimeters. Selecting the third option, and returning to part, we can see how this options affects the visualization. As you can see, the only visible effect is in body in a set, for which is reserved this option. The whole feature is not showing anymore, but the extrude is shown. By combining these four options, you can select what to see in geometry area. By default, all those options are not selected. Also from here, we can drag to increase or decrease axis system display size, as you can see. Attention, these options are not similar with hide show feature. As you can see, swapping visible space, the geometry remains hidden and unselectable. In case of using hide show feature, the selected geometry will be always visible at swapping visible space, as presented. If all those options are unselected, in the current sketch, all the geometry contained in other bodies or parts is visible. If any option is selected, in the sketch the corresponding geometry for that option is deactivated and not visible or selectable. Switching to product file, all components are visible and in their place. If any option is selected from Part Module or Tools, Options, Display in Geometry Area section, automatically in Assembly Module will have the same status. In Assembly Module, we don't have those options on a toolbar, so the solution is to switch back to Part and deselect the options, or from Tools, Options, Display in Geometry Area section, to uncheck them. If any option is checked, according to it, will hide the corresponding geometry, in all modules except drafting. As you can see, if some geometry is hidden, the drawing doesn't need update, all the representations are visible, even if on model they are not shown. Unselecting all the options, and back to drawing, we'll see that is no need to be updated. All the geometry is visible. In case in the drawing is something not visible, you may have an issue regarding visibility, you can solve this by turning all layers to visible, as shown. So, my advice, is to handle with care these options, not to forget them active, or in case of accidentally push, to turn off for daily use. You can find different utilities for those options. One of them is when you are editing a sketch directly from the product tree, you can deactivate all geometry visible behind current sketch that can be difficult handle other way. I hope you will find useful this presentation, and handle with care those options, not to miss some geometry on model. Those options, used correctly, can save you some time and help in some situation. If you decide not to use them, is better to keep them unselected by default in settings.